Welcome to the RAS Project, the place where you will learn how to thrive and grow in every aspect of life, family, entrepreneurship, personal development, using raw percent, no bullshit, proven tactics. My name is Ivan Temelkov, and I'm your host. And I hope you weren't expecting anybody else. So in today's episode, we've gone mental. 100% mental, ladies and gentlemen. And before we talk about that, though, we are live on Facebook and actually trying out the new Facebook rooms feature, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. And of course, you can always watch live at ivantemelkov.com/podcast. The audio version of this episode is going to be available on all the major podcasting outlets: Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, everywhere. And I don't know what is happening, but my internet connection seems to be so. Hopefully you guys heard that. Anyway, looks like it's coming back. It's gone mental. Why are we going to talk about that? Why does mindset matter so much? It matters because it's everything that we do in our lives and in business. Everything that we do is invoked mentally. Okay? There's a mental derivative of everything that we do in our personal lives and in our business. Every decision we make is mental. Every action we take is a derivative of a mental choice that we have made. Think about it this way. Do you want to lose weight? It's a mental decision. Do you want to get into better shape? It's a mental decision. Do you want to build a business? It's a mental decision. Do you want to make more money? It's a mental decision. It's all mental, ladies and gentlemen. It's all mental. Everything that you do has correlation to mindset. Okay? But why is mindset so undervalued? Why is mindset so undervalued? It's undervalued because many people fail to take interest in it or are unwilling to fully embrace its power in order to dominate every aspect of their life and business. And if you think that's fucking bullshit, I'm about to throw a story at you that is going to flip your mind. It's going to flip your mind. If you're just tuning in, we are live on Facebook, the new Facebook rooms right now. We are also live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, and you can always watch at ivantemelkov.com/podcast. And we're talking about, we've gone mental on this episode. Completely 100% mental, and talking about why mindset is so powerful. So here's a story I want to share with you that correlates so much to how important mindset is in everything that we do, life or business related. Over 8 years ago, I began cycling. Some of you that follow me, you might see me post my Map My Ride snapshots and you know my accomplishments, including the one that I had this past week. Out of the blue, I just purchased a $300 Schwinn Prelude aluminum bike and just started cycling. Now, the first couple of years of my journey was mainly about fitness and getting into shape. That's it. The first 2 years was, all right, I got to shut off the belly. I was drinking beer at the time, had the beer gut going on, and that's all that I wanted to accomplish. But then around 2015, that changed completely, and cycling became purely about mental transformation. mindset therapy, a mental shift towards becoming the best version of myself. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to elaborate on the story a little bit more. Okay. I just said a mental shift towards becoming the best version of myself. This past week, I cycled over 60 miles in a 7-day span. This is the highest amount of mileage I have pedaled since the beginning of my cycling journey back in 2013. Okay? Think about this, 64 miles to be precise in a 7-day span. And what that has done mentally for me is just, I'm completely speechless, ladies and gentlemen. I have no words to describe what that has done for me mentally, let alone physically. Physically, get ready for this. 24 hours since my last weighed in, which was a huge win from a mental standpoint, but from a physical standpoint also. It invigorated me mentally to the point that I want to push even further. I want to cycle more. I want to go longer. Now, after this past week, now more than ever, personally, I'm convinced that anything you set your mind to, will absolutely change the trajectory of your life and your business. Anything you set your mind to. But you have to discover the one thing that mentally forces you to level up. Now, for me, it's cycling. It's why, in fact, 3 months ago, I decided to invest into a new bike. Not a purchase, but an investment. There's a huge difference. You see, most people looked at my $1,200, yes, that is 1,200 US dollars that I spent to purchase a new bike. Most people looked at that and said I was fucking crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't about the price tag. It was about the investment that I was making towards my future. Because cycling is my way of developing my mindset. I have to be honest with you. Yesterday, it took me almost 2.5 hours to cycle 34 miles. And by the way, you can follow me on Map My Ride if you're a cyclist or if you're a runner for that matter, if you want to keep in touch with my journey. But cycling 33, almost 34 miles in almost 2.5 hours was exhausting. It was mentally invigorating, but it felt so good. It felt so good because it was an accomplishment. And after that accomplishment, after I got done cycling, I was physically exhausted. You know, at that point, I had taken 6 salt tablets because I take those when I cycle. You know, my legs were killing me. I was completely exhausted. I was hydrated, but I was exhausted and I was tired. I was really tired. And here's the thing though, I felt extremely rejuvenated and accomplished, ready to tackle a new week. And that is what you need to discover. You need to discover the one thing that mentally forces you to level up. For me, it's cycling. Now, striving to nurture your mindset consistently will change everything in your life and business. It will improve your relationships with significant others, increase your energy, self-esteem, decision making, and as a result, impact all facets of your life and business. I can't begin to tell you how, as an entrepreneur specifically, those of you that are entrepreneurs and small business owners watching this podcast right now, which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe anywhere on the internet. Just Google the RAS Project. Will know that as an entrepreneur, you go through ups and downs every single day. There is no such thing as comfort in entrepreneurship. In fact, you should never be comfortable as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner. Because when you're too comfortable is when you become stagnant. Now, discomfort is something that a lot of people dislike. If you're someone that dislikes discomfort, entrepreneurship might not be for you. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that I can tell the last 5 years in running my business, my digital agency, Razor Sharp Digital, how many times how many bad days I've had. I've had a lot of bad days, and I know many bad days are yet to come. And the way that I mitigate those bad days is through cycling. You know, I was talking with a client of mine yesterday, and had told him he's a bodybuilder, he's into fitness, very accomplished in that arena. And I had told him that, you know what, I don't go in the gym from like early to mid spring until like late fall, because I get my exercise through cycling. And I do it because of the mindset development, the therapy that it helps me cope, especially with tough days. The only time I go in the gym is living in the Midwest when it gets cold outside, because I can't cycle. And that is why actually I don't like stationary bikes, because I prefer being on a bike, especially one that I paid $1,200 for right now, 3 months ago, and being on that bike and being free and exhilarating and being able to collect my thoughts. Because as an entrepreneur, as a father, as a husband, there's a lot of weight to carry. These are all full-time jobs. Being an entrepreneur is a full-time job. Being a father is a full-time job. Being a husband is a full-time job. And it's challenging every single day. But the one thing that helps me personally, and what you need to discover, is what helps you mentally cope with the bad days to where you can emerge victoriously. Because here's the thing. The difference between winners and losers is in times of despair. So when you've gone mental and shit is hitting the fan and you don't know what to do, you need to know how to mitigate. You need to find that one thing that's going to help you cope, that's going to help you find a solution to the problems that you have. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody on the internet right now talks about how solution-oriented they are until shit hits the fan. And then about 1% of people are actually capable of strategizing and finding solutions. So what I want you to think about today for tomorrow, what is the one thing that helps you develop mentally, that helps you cope from a mindset standpoint, especially when shit hits the fan, to where you can emerge victoriously and move on in your business, in your entrepreneurial journey. in your relationships, in your parenting. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, mindset. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this topic and why this episode is labeled Gone Mental is because yesterday, when I was speaking with my client who's big into bodybuilding and fitness, I'm pretty excited actually to introduce their new brand that's going to be launching on the internets here very soon that we've been working on. He said, strength is about knowing that you need to do certain things and doing them even when you don't want to do them, pushing yourself. We're actually talking about how, especially with my journey, how at times I get tired with my meal plans. I've been trying to eat healthy for a couple of years now, and I've made significant progress, but I do have some days where I burn out and I just don't know, what to do. Like, I don't want to eat chicken again. I don't want to eat ground turkey again. I got tired of it, or I have a sweet tooth, but I know I can't have and mentally, principally, why I'm sharing this with you is because whether in your entrepreneurial journey, in your personal life, or with your kids, your relationship, you need to know, mentally prepare yourself to understand that you need to try the hardest when it's the most difficult. That's when you need to be solution oriented the most. Now, can you do it? Yes, I think you can. So, what I want you to take away from this episode is prepare yourself, find the one thing that helps you improve your mindset to get on a clear path to accomplishing the goals and dreams that you're after. That is the key message that I want to share in this episode. If you enjoyed the episode, I would love it if you hop on Apple Podcasts and just cast a review. It would mean the world to me, or anywhere else that you get your podcast. But I would greatly appreciate it if you casted a review on Apple Podcasts. If you haven't subscribed to the RAS Project, then what are you waiting for? This is the podcast to help you thrive and grow in every aspect of your life and business using proven 100% no bullshit tactics. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Everybody watching on Facebook Rooms also was a first try. And those of you that are going to be downloading the episode, I appreciate you so much. Hope you got value out of this. And until next time, take care.